Hey guys, it's Melody from Tune Bucket. Today's topic, what's the point of using drum loops? That's a really good question. I'm going to talk about that today. Number one, it adds another instrument to your band. So even if you're just a keyboard, a drum loop is going to add a lot. I'm going to show you what that sounds like. Number two, even though loops sound really cool, they're really just souped up metronomes, meaning that they keep a steady rhythm. So other musicians in the band can't push the drummer to play a faster beat because they're all following the drum loop. And the drum loop, unlike a person, it's not listening to the rest of the band, so it's keeping that steady rhythm. So even if they push it, they're actually getting ahead of the loop and they'll need to back off and get back in sync with the loop. I'm actually an advocate for loops because of the drummers. A lot of people think that loops are created to keep a drummer on beat, and that's just not the case. A loop is created to keep the whole band in sync. So no one can blame the drummer for starting too fast or too slow because he's using a loop that's 145 beats a minute, and 145 beats a minute just simply doesn't change. Number three, if you do have a runaway drummer, this is going to cure your runaway drummer blues because a loop's rhythm, as we talked about before, does not change, it stays steady. So if you start at 145 beats a minute, which would be a pretty upbeat song, you're going to end at 145 beats a minute. So a drummer, if he's learning to play with a loop, he may fluctuate and he may actually even get off of the loop, but that's okay. We've had to turn loops off before, but keep at it, keep trying until he develops the ear to listen for the loop. Number four, if you're in a location where you have no musicians or you're training musicians, loops are perfect for you. Here's what we use loops for in the beginning. We were training drummers, and the only parts of the drum they knew to play were the foot pedal, that big bass drum, and the snare. And that's it. There was no hi-hat, no cymbal, no nothing. So in order to really keep them on beat and to keep the rest of the band, which would probably have been the bass player and the keyboard player, on beat and something kind of going, especially when you have beginner musicians, the loop was perfect because not only was it keeping the band together, but they didn't realize it was training them to play in perfect rhythm and not to be runaway musicians, and that's the end goal that we're looking for anyway. Number five, it's going to cure for any musician the runaway train syndrome. That being, you get to go in, you really get into a song, and all of a sudden you're singing Amazing Grace 90 to nothing and nobody can keep up. Like, I can't talk right there. You get so fast and so excited. Playing in a steady rhythm will make you a better musician. Any tricks that you learn to play, if you're playing them out of rhythm, they're going to sound much better if you play them in perfect rhythm. Number six, see how I did that? Those of you I did that out of habit. Now those of you that have seen how to play with musicians who don't play by ear, you'll understand why I did that as six. It's just habit. So number six, professional musicians like to play with loops because they add an element of excellence to your playing. I've heard people mention before how good music sounds, and really the key element to that band was the drum loop. That was the secret. They were just playing with the drum loop. They weren't doing fancy chords. They weren't playing fancy runs together. They were simply playing with the drum loop. I hope this helps. If you'd like to submit a question to Tuning Tuesday, you can send an email to info@thetunebucket.com. And if you'd like information on where you can purchase drum loops, you can also send an email to that address. Stay tuned.